hi to all my lovely, wonderful, totally awesome AP Human Geography students. I hope you guys are well. Today we are going to talk about a really short but really important couple of concepts. So this is all about human-environmental interaction 1.5. So your tidbit of the day is that it is possible to drown up to 24 hours after leaving the water. This is called dry drowning, and basically you can walk and talk for a whole day before you die unexpectedly. That is not a fun fact, but it is an interesting one. Okay, so our learning objectives today, again, this is 1.5, so we are looking to explain how major geographic concepts illustrate spatial relationships. And particularly, we're looking at the interaction between the natural environment and human societies. We're looking at a big overall concept called cultural ecology, and basically this is the study of how humans interact or adapt to the environment. And there are a couple of theories, two major schools of thought that have evolved over time due to developments in technology. So we start with environmental determinism, and we end with possibilism. Environmental determinism came about in the 18th century, so the 1700s, and it is the belief that the climate and landforms are the most powerful forces in shaping human behavior and societal and cultural development. It is used to justify racism, and that sounds really weird. How is racism justified by something to do with the environment? Well, it concludes that the warmer climates tend to cause inhabitants to become more relaxed and basically lazy. That's what it's saying. It's saying people just want to have fun and they're just lazy in warmer climates. So this led some people to believe that Europeans and those from more temperate climates, so warm to cool, but not super cold, not super hot, were more motivated, intelligent, and culturally advanced than those from warmer climates. And here we are looking at how dry places are. So the brownish orange is hyper-arid areas, so hyper meaning very much, and arid meaning dry, so it's very dry. Hyper-arid areas, and this probably isn't super surprising, we have the Sahara here, so we have a hyper-arid area here, a little bit on the coast, a little bit over here in Somalia, and then we have up here in northern China and all along the coast of South America. We also have arid areas, so just plain old dry areas, again around the Sahara, up in here, throughout just deserts, standard deserts, but not like the crazy super desert that most of the Sahara is, I guess. Then we have semi-arid, so it's pretty dry, not super dry. This is a lot of the American West, so central and west in the United States. And a lot of Australia, again, a lot of Asia, and various places in the other continents. And then the dry sub-humid areas, so fairly dry, not super humid, kind of aroundish there, but not really. And that's our green sections. Make sure you're looking at these little percentages and things too. So this is saying that the environment, so climate and precipitation, determines or controls what can happen in these areas. So things like farming and clothing. And that sounds fairly reasonable, except for I want you to think, can they farm in Egypt? What do you wear? Okay, what do we wear over here? What can we do over here as far as farming goes? Can you farm up in the mountains? Because if they're really steep, it seems like you shouldn't be able to, or where it's really cold, and yet people live in those places. So then we get this second school of thought called possibilism. And possibilism is rather more modern, and it acknowledges the limitations imposed by the natural environment, but it focuses on the role of human culture to modify and respond to the environment to better fit human needs. So it says, hey, we're limited in what we can do, but we can still do it. So it's hard to farm in Egypt, it's hard to farm up in the Andes Mountains, but we can still do it. We can irrigate, we can build terraces, we can wear warmer clothes or colder clothes, we can adapt the type of shoes that we wear, we can adapt. And we can adapt to our environment and we can adapt our environment. So here we are looking at the Palm Islands, and they were completed in only 4 years. They are located in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, so Dubai, UAE, and each island used over 53 million pounds of sand and 12 million pounds of rock to be created. So here was water, and we changed that water to make land. So is that possibilism or environmental determinism? And here we have a river, and in this river we put a dam. So this is the Hoover Dam. It was finished with construction in 1936, and we use it to supply power and water to Las Vegas, Nevada, which is located in the middle of the desert. Possibilism or environmental determinism. And then we have these terraces. These were invented by the Incas in South America. They lived up in the mountains. When you have mountains and they're very steep on the side, you have to be able to still farm if you want to live there, so you have to make flat spaces. And basically they come up with a way to extend the land or to cut into it to make a flat surface. So this is very commonly used in rice growing countries like in Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia. All right, and that's it. So again, we're looking at explaining how major geographic concepts illustrate spatial relations. So how do these big concepts show what our relationship in a space is like, or what relationships between spaces are like? And I want you to take a moment in your notes and explain the relationship between humanity and the environment. Okay, so this is a new thing. I haven't made you do this before, but I want you to take a moment and tell me about the relationship between humanity and the environment. And have a great day. Bye.